Brand new details are here about an upcoming expansion set for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. What's up, Lightning Squad, and welcome back to Naybor Games. I'm your host, Naybor. Today, trainers, I wanted to take a dive into some news that we got on the TCG front last Friday. In Japan, they officially announced the next coming expansion for Scarlet and Violet after Triple Beat. These two expansion packs are going to be Snow Hazard and Clay Burst. Snow Hazard, of course, featuring the legendary Pokemon chein-pao, and Clay Burst, of course, featuring the legendary Pokemon ting-lu. In this video, I wanted to cover some of the cards in the set, let you know what I think it looks really good. Some things look really amazing as secret art rares, and how I think this is going to evolve the TCG as we move forward into the next coming expansion packs. But before I do, if you have a chance and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like, and comment down below what you're looking forward to from this set. And let's go ahead and move right into the analysis for these Pokemon cards. So since the set starts off with chein-pao and ting-lu, I thought we would go ahead and cover those EX cards. Here we have chein-pao EX. Its ability is Trembling Chill. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may search your deck for up to 2 basic water energy, reveal them, and put them into your hand, shuffle your deck. This works really well with another card in the set. I'll talk about it in just a moment. For 2 water energy, it does Hail Blade. Does 60 times damage. Discard any amount of water energy from your Pokemon. This attack does 60 damage for each card you discarded in this way. I know I was going to talk about Clay Burst, but I wanted to go ahead and talk about a card that's going to work really good in tandem with this chein-pao EX. It's going to be Excalibur. And Excalibur has an ability that's very similar to Deluge Blastoise from years ago. The ability Sub-Zero says, as often as you like during your turn, before you attack, you may attach a water energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. So this allows you to place multiple water energy across the board on your Pokemon. It is a stage 2 Pokemon, so you do have to evolve up into it, but Rare Candy is something that is coming back to the format, so I'm thinking that's going to be just fine. This would allow chein-pao EX's Hail Blade to do an exorbitant amount of damage overall. I think this is going to work together really well, and there's going to need to be a really good counter for it. chein-pao is weak to steel types, and currently, to my knowledge, I don't think there's very much steel that's represented in the TCG at this time. And then Excalibur is also weak to steel types, so there you go. It also has the attack Buster Tail, which does 130 damage for 2 water energy and a colorless. Alright, now we're going to talk about Tingloo EX. Ting-lu has the ability Cursebound Land. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, the opponent's Pokemon, except for Pokemon EX, that have any damage counters on them have no abilities. So this is a really good way, except for the EX Pokemon, to nullify abilities, especially from things like Pokemon V, that's still going to be in the current format until we run through this. I think this is a fantastic ability overall because we've been stuck so many times with abilities and you can't get past them. This is a good counter for that. For 3 fighting energy, it has Land Scoop, does 150, and you put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. We're going to talk about another spectacular card, Gargan Ackle. Gargan Ackle has the ability Blessing of Salt. At any time between turns, heal 20 damage from each of your Pokemon. I do believe the way that's worded, that means every time between turns, as we're switching turns, you get to heal 20 damage from each of all of your Pokemon. So I can see this getting a lot of play, even if it's just there to sit on the bench. Again, Rare Candy, you can evolve up into it really quickly, and you'll be able to have that Gargan Ackle on your bench and healing your Pokemon in between turns. It also has the attack Knocking Hammer, it does 130, and discard the top card of your opponent's deck. We all know I love a good mill deck, so this is always something that can be used in that. I think this card is going to work really well, especially with Ting-lu. I think those two work together really well as well. Next up here, we have Mousehold, and it also has a special art rare, which I've got both posted over here. This is a cute little card, especially the special art rare. It has, for 2 colorless energies, Gentle Slap, it does 50 damage, and for 3 colorless energies, Nibbling Around, put 1 damage counter on each of your opponent's Pokemon for each Mousehold you have in play. So that's a guaranteed 40 damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon. That could really knock out some basic Pokemon really easily. I don't know if it'll get a lot of play. I think it's kind of cute and fun. Definitely a really pretty card. Here we have Dunsparce, which also has a special art rare. For 1 colorless energy, Mudslap does 20. For 4 colorless energy, Flash Disappearance does 100. The defending Pokemon is now paralyzed. Shuffle this Pokemon and all cards attached to it into your deck. I don't know if this is necessarily going to get a lot of play. It's a fun little attack to of course, be able to completely nullify any damage that's been done. 140 damage is really easy to knock something out with. It is a stage 2, so it might be something that's a bit, you know, kind of easy to get to, but the cost of 4 energy is going to be really hard without the double colorless energy. Next, we're going to talk about Squawkabilly EX. Squawkabilly is already a fantastically fun Pokemon to have. This ability, though, is great. Drawkability, I love that. You may use this ability once. During your first turn, discard your hand and draw 6 cards. You can't use more than 1 Drawkability during your turn. So this is great. This is the new draw system for the Pokemon TCG moving into the EX Scarlet and Violet format. We've seen this with the Dene and with Crobat. I think this is fantastic to have something like this that's going to come back into play. Very excited to see it. And then for 1 colorless energy, Hype Up does 20. Attach up to 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. Coming in here with another EX Pokemon, Shiyu EX. For 1 fire energy, it does Begrudging Burn, discard the top 2 cards of your opponent's decks. I've talked before, I like a mill deck. I don't know necessarily if it warrants having it on an EX card. Its second attack, though, is Flame Surge for 2 fire energy. It does 100 damage, and you choose 3 of your bench Pokemon. For each of those Pokemon, search your deck for a basic fire energy card and attach it to that Pokemon. Shuffle your deck afterwards. So it's a good way to really get energy onto Pokemon and set up stuff, and then to mill away for that first turn before you get the 2 fire energies on there. I think that it could get some play. It's definitely not as good as its other legendary counterparts, Ting-lu and chein-pao, but still a really good card overall, I think. Here's another interesting Pokemon with a special art rare, Rapska. It has the attack Revival Blessing that costs 1 colorless energy. Choose a Pokemon from your discard pile and put it on your bench. I do think that we're going to have some trainer cards that are going to be able to do this, so I don't know how well it works as an attack, but it's still there and I think it can be used if needed. Psybeam does 50 and your opponent's Pokemon is now confused. Of course, it also has this really cool special art rare, so that's why I included it. Let's talk about some trainers before I end the video here. We've got Grusha as a supporter. Draw until you have 5 cards in your hands. If none of your Pokemon have any energy attached, draw until you have 7 cards instead. So that's a really good, maybe early supporter whenever you don't have energy set up and played, to really get a new hand, essentially. I think there are other good ways to do this. This is definitely a fun card overall, and especially, like I said, if it's an early turn, you're going to be able to use this a lot better without having a bunch of energy on your Pokemon. We have the Super Rod. The Super Rod, of course, shuffle up to 3 in any combination of Pokemon basic energy cards and Pokemon cards from your discard pile and put them back into your deck. So that's always a really fun thing to retrieve cards that you may have used or lost during the game. We have this trainer card, Brave Charm. It's a tool. The basic Pokemon this card is attached to gets plus 50 HP, which is good. We love to boost the HP. Some of the EX basic cards have a lower HP, so this might be really good to throw onto them. I really think that this might end up benefiting Pokemon like chein-pao and ting-lu. We're gonna get closer to that 300 HP. It's gonna be harder to knock them out. We have Ayano, which is something that everybody's already talking about. It's going to be a very hard card to come by. Each player shuffles their hand and puts it at the bottom of their deck. Then each player draws a card for each of their remaining prize cards. So it's essentially Marnie. I think this is a great card. It's going to have a fantastic full art, I'm sure. Probably a special art rare. Keep your eyes on this card. It's probably going to be used in most people's decks. And I had to talk about it. It's not the best card that was revealed, but the art for it is fantastic. So is the special art. We have Raichu. For 1 colorless energy, it does Electro Charge. Search your deck for up to 2 basic lightning energy cards, attach them to this Pokemon, and shuffle your deck afterwards. And then for 2 lightning energies and a colorless, it does Thunderbolt for 200, which is a lot for a stage 2 Pokemon that's not an EX. Discard all energy from the Pokemon. That's the only issue that I have with it, is it's expendable energy Pokemon card, but it is a Raichu. I love Raichu. It is my favorite Pokemon. So I'm excited, and I'm definitely going to try to pull the special art here. So that overall is what we have information-wise for Clay Burst and Snow Hazard. I think there have been some other cards that have been revealed, but no translations yet. As soon as I see those come through, we'll work on either putting shorts up or get a compilation video of all the cards so that we can have that in one big video and everything. If you like videos like this, make sure you like this video and leave a comment. Let me know what you're looking forward to from this set. Like, comment, subscribe. Click that notification bell so you don't miss when I post awesome content just like this. And thank you out there for watching. I appreciate it very much, and I will see you real soon. Catch you on the flip side.